G'day, I'm Kurt from the Game Management Authority. Today we're here with Daryl to talk all about chokes. So Daryl, what is a choke and how does it work?
So essentially the choke controls your pattern. So the tighter the choke, the tighter the pattern. The more open the choke, the wider your pattern will be.
And the choke's the constriction at the end of the muzzle, isn't it? That's what we've got out before.
Yeah, so as we see here, these are interchangeable chokes that screw out at the end of the barrel. So you've got your parallel section and then a tapered section towards the end, and that's the choke at the end of the barrel.
Now there's two different types of chokes predominantly, isn't there? There's what we call interchangeable and what we call fixed. So how do people know what they've got?
Yeah, so this barrel here has interchangeable external chokes. So these are screw-in chokes that you can take in and take out. The other option is a fixed choke, which is the choke's just incorporated into the barrel. It's fixed, you can't take it out, you can't change it. A gunsmith can open up the choke, make it more open. You obviously can't put the metal back in, but you can take some out. Your other option is you can actually fit like a thin wall interchangeable choke into a fixed choke gun, so you can convert it into an interchangeable choke gun.
So it's important to know what kind of choke you have in your gun. How do you measure it?
Yeah, sure. So some of the manufacturers have a notch system at the end of the choke tube where you can see from the outside how many notches. Manufacturers vary in how they use those systems, so your best bet is to unscrew your choke tube and actually read what's written on it. So this one here is a mid-range choke or a modified choke tube.
Now there's also two different systems of how they do actually write that measurement. The old version with the quarter and half and the modern version. How does that sort of work?
So the modern system stemmed out of the US. We talk about cylinder, skeet, improved cylinder, light modified, modified, improved modified, full. I think there's an extra full as well. So that's a US system which is now used in most modern firearms. The old English system, which some of these old choke gauges especially are marked in, they're marked in cylinder, quarter, half, 3/4, then some of them even go to 5/8, 6/8 and various other measurements. That's an older style of measurement based out of the UK.
So how is that relevant to gamebird hunting?
So it's really important that you know what choke's in your gun to start with and also how it patterns on the pattern board. This is to make sure you're getting a pattern that's dense enough to humanely dispatch birds at your chosen distance. So you're going to basically you need to make sure you've got enough pellets in that pattern.
So for a beginner or someone who's just starting out with their pattern testing, how do you choose the ideal one or where do you start?
Any sort of mid-range sort of work, modified is usually your go-to choke, and for those closer range, improved cylinder is a really good place to start patterning. What we've found with shooting hundreds and hundreds of patterns with steel shot is that somewhere between that improved cylinder and modified or quarter and half choke is the most effective.
Yeah, so being a bit of a sweet spot, it's a good spot to start.
It's a really good place to start.
Yeah. So thanks for clarifying all that. That's really good to go through.
No problem. Look, it's really important that we know what choke we're using and how they're performing.
Thanks for watching and we'll see you in the next video.